And we are back. Pokemon Infinite Fusion, Hardcore Nuzlocke, the third attempt continues. Last video we ended beating Giovanni, but it did cost us our really cool Electro Fusion. However, we kicked this episode off with a potential replacement in the Magnetini here, the Dratini Magnemite Fusion. Steel Dragon is a really cool typing. Let's see if we get to use this guy later on in the run. Upon realizing we're not going to be able to use Dragonite until way later in the run, let's go ahead and use the Thunderstone on our EBAT, our pseudo starter here. She has really come through for us, and now we're going to have a Jolteon Golbat combination, and I'm really looking forward to see what it looks like once it evolves into the Crobat. And then in Lavender Town, we head into the Pokemon Tower once we get the Silph Scope, and now we can see the ghosts, so we're going to go ahead and secure this Ghastly first encounter, drop back with the Ultra Ball, and secure it. We then head back to the left side of Celadon City, blocking the cycling road here, and there's going to be a big chubby friend in the Snorlax. We drop back with the Great Ball and secure it. And then on Cycling Road, we run into a Grimer here, so that's going to be our next first encounter. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. That brings us to our next fusion here, and it's going to be the normal flying Doduo with the poison type Grimer. Let's see what kind of fusion we get here. It's probably going to be poison flying, and there it is. Let's see about that Dodrio, though. And the triple-headed monster is going to look a little something like that. There it is. We still have one more evolution in the muck when we get it up higher in level. But first, it's time to take on Erica and her grass-type Pokemon. The Exeduo comes down, most likely grass flying here, but we've got our newly acquired Joltbat, who's super fast with the electric flying. We really did just replace our awesome Electrocrow that went down, and we don't have the sunglasses here, but we do have the stats to back it up as Joltbat takes down the first two Pokemon like it's nothing. Just another Friday night as Vileplume comes down. We fly into the sky with Fly. It barely holds on, gets a little reprieve from the Citrus Ray of the Sunny Day. In response, another Fly. We go up into the sky. Joltbat comes in as the Solar Beam is charged up, but it does nothing as we take down Erica and secure the fourth gym badge. With the level cap going up, that means we can get a couple more fusions here, and the Honchoke is evolving, and it turns into the Duchoke, so it definitely makes me curious what the Machamp evolution is going to look like. Alright, so I made sure I couldn't get my favorite fusion again in the Genlax, but I still wanted to pair our Snorlax with a Ghost-type Pokemon, so I repel all the way through the Safari Zone until we could get to a place where there's a bunch of Ghost types, so we settle with the Golett, and now let's see what Golett and Snorlax look like together. Okay, I got a little bit too excited, and I went ahead and upgraded to the Golurk, so here is the final evolution. Golurk and Snorlax, they make Snorlurk looking absolutely fantastic. I love how all of the berries are just in his belly, and that is yet another Snorlax Ghost evolution that is just amazing. It's always after the highest highs that you run into the lowest lows here, and we are literally one trainer away from Koga and getting that fifth gym badge. We have Pertrio here just leading the charge. It's so fast, it's so strong with those stab technician moves, and we are doing work as the Parabat comes down. That monstrosity, probably bug poison, maybe bug flying, maybe poison flying, who knows? It gets the mean look in there. We get 2 bites down. The Leech Life does massive damage as it is buffed in this game. The water pulls for some damage back, but we get absolutely critical hit by the slash, and we drop Pertrio. We cannot go an episode without losing anybody, and Pertrio was absolutely adorable with 3 little Persians coming out as Hyper comes in and gets absolutely nuked by a one-shot Leech Life. I don't even know what I was thinking there. Completely tilted off of the earth as we send out our Ace Snowlurk, comes in with the Fire Punch and puts down the monstrosity. With those losses underway, we need some redemption. Let's take on Koga and see if we can redeem ourselves as the Venomer comes down. The Grimer Venomoth combination, as we do have Iron Fist on our Snorlurk here, looking fantastic, buffing all of those punching moves. He is just flexing right now. The Beether comes down. We have a super effective Fire Punch ready to go, but the Pin Missile comes in with 3-4 hits right there. No problem, though, as we tank that up front and personal. Magnafang comes down, known for that really nice color scheme, but it's not going to be enough as another Fire Punch makes swift work of yet another one of Koga's Pokemon. That leads us to Chinook here, the Chansey and Muck combination. I believe it's normal poison, so you got to watch out for that. We don't have anything anything super effective, but we do have a lot of physical damage options. We don't want to get hit with any dark type moves, as that is Snorlax's only weakness. We get the quick claw pop, we come in hard with the body slam, doing good damage up close, but the black sludge for the reprieve is going to be very annoying, so maybe we can get somebody else in there. Mudrio is actually a good pivot here because of the poison type, and we can't get hit by any stab moves by Chinook here, or Chinook, whatever you want to call it. The Swords Dance comes down, the triple-headed bird is coming in hot here, but the defense getting massive buffs from the acid armor. Chinook not messing around here. We go underground with the dig. If this connects, this is going to do massive damage. It is super effective. Brings Chinook to half HP, but another acid armor is going to completely bury our Swords Dance. So what we can do is we can tie in a +4 versus the -4 defense, if that even makes sense, as the takedown comes down. The Black Sludge for reprieve, but if we can get a critical hit through that, we are absolutely beautiful. However, the double team adding up, and now this Chansey amalgamation is absolutely popping off with +2 evasion and +4 defense. Can Mudrio bring this home? Can Mudrio see it through to the end? Another Swords Dance. We are max attack now as Koga heals up his ace, his final bastion of hope. We go underground one more time, but Chinook sidesteps and gets another double team off. Do you believe in the digging triple-headed bird? And Chinook completely sidestepped. This massive egg-carrying monster is doing work right now with another double team and another dig miss. The Toxic does absolutely nothing. The takedown is sidestep. Another Toxic completely bounces off the triple-headed bird. Can we dig one more time? And no, we cannot, as Chinook completely heals with the Black Sledge. Call it a leftovers, call it everything, as Chinook is almost full HP, but we break through with the dig, bring Chinook into the red. The heal for reprieve. We cannot break through. We can't get all the way where we need to. We are almost out of dig moves. One more avoided attack, but we finally come up. Mudbro comes in, clutching the fight against Koga. Good God, give us our badge and let's move on with our lives. And that means we finally get access to that full Gyarados evolution in this fusion here. It's going to be the Omados or Omados with the singular water typing. It's got shell armor, but it's just not as good as the signature water flying with Intimidate. However, we will definitely take it. But who cares about that as we get the final fusion when it comes to the Jolt Bat, and it's going to be the Jolteon Crobat. It is so tiny, it is so fast, and it is here to stay. We then take our Victory Bell that we've had in the PC for quite some time and pair it with a newly acquired Bellossom, and that leads to a monumental Bell fusion here, an absolutely massive Bellossom coming out of the Venus Flytrap. Absolutely ridiculous. And then at long last, we get the Machamp evolution with the Duo Blade here. Not quite the Aegis Slash, but look at that. 2 swords, 4 arms, and he's ready to go. And that brings us to our infamous rival fight in Silph Co. And the only downside to using fusions that you absolutely love is that you hold them too close and you don't want to lose them. So keep that in mind as Jolt Bat leads the charge with a monstrous, super effective Stab Thunderbolt. And we take down that pesky opener from our rival. The Bull comes down. The Taurus is here with the normal typing. We could pivot into Snorlax here, who's got the normal Ghost and takes those normal type moves very well as they do not affect. But if it does pull out like a payback or an assurance, we are in trouble. So instead, we're going to go for the Bell here. The Bellossom Victory Bell, who tanks that takedown not well at all. So now we're going to go into our Pride and Joy. The Zen Headbutt gets a critical, because of course it does. And we tank that about half HP. And now we're really scared of losing anybody. So we really have to make a decision here. Picusect is a great pivot as it's such a brick wall. It tanks that Zen Headbutt, but still does a ton of damage. But we do manage to get the Spore off, and we put the Bull to sleep. We absolutely do. And now we can recover, get that HP back, and go for the Curse. We're actually trying to set up on the Bull, which is very risky, but we are going for the Spore. If this crits, it's all over. The Effect Spore comes down, though, poisoning the Tauros and making it impossible for it to go to sleep. And now we are definitely on the back foot as almost 4 Pokemon are bleeding out. We still have 2 healthy options. The Snorlax back in. The Zen Headbutt actually misses this time, thank goodness, but the Tauros is still posing a massive threat. It can hit Mudrio for super effective given that poison typing, so we are staying in. We're absolutely going to roll this and maybe throw in a Thunder Punch. Who knows? We do have the Belly Drum in the back just in case we can find an opening, but instead Snorlax looks across at the Tauros and is like, actually guys, can we think about this? So we pivot into Leafeon, who does have a Brick Wall defense on top of an Intimidate, which is beautiful, the poison ticking away, and now we are taking this fight and turning it on its head as Leafeon comes in, or I should say Arcanine, since it is fused with the Arcanine, thank you. The Sword Stance comes down. We are ramping up the payback, so it was holding out on us. It does have a dark type move that it was wanting to use against the Snorlax. No problem there as we fade away with the extreme speed. Beautiful stuff. The Starbreak comes down, but with 2 Sword Stance, that extreme speed is hitting like a truck. The Electados is next in line, and can this be enough? And yes, it can, as it's a fadeaway crit that only leaves the underdeveloped Warsaw, and we drop back one more time with the extreme speed, and our rival is defeated. And we know what comes after that fight. It's going to be one of the most ridiculous fights in the game. You and your rival going back-to-back against Giovanni and his upgraded squad here. The Ryrus and Primarino come down. We have the Nigidot from our rival side, and we send out Mudrill, who does have the Black Sludge, that signature leftovers ramping up, and we're going to get a little bit cheeky here as we go for the Sword Stance, getting a little bit greedy as the safeguard comes down, and we actually really capitalize well on that turn, and Nigidot gets some good damage down on the Primarino, I should say, and Giovanni is down 1 Pokemon. We are up into the sky. The Thrash comes down. The Fly is here. Cannot one-shot the Genkan, though. Thankfully, we dodge whatever move it was going for, and we are risking it all here in this fight. The Max Potion comes down. The Thrash connects, but Nigidot is now confused. We fly back up into the sky, dodging the Stone Edge. The Dark Pulse connects onto our rival side of things. The confusion comes down. Genkan holds on with no HP. The Stone Edge fades, and our rival has to chuck out the Electados in response here. Huge Intimidate coming down, though, which is beautiful. The Outrage doing massive damage to our rival. We drop back with a Crunch and take down the Genkan. I'm just kidding. Electados did that, but Electados dies. The Sand Queen comes down, half HP. The Brian across the board. The Tauros is here. Our rival is getting dismantled, but Giovanni could care less about us, and that's everything we can ask for as we fly back into the sky. The Sandstorm is here. Taurus holding on, doing work. The payback comes down. Sand Queen holding on. The Sword Stance on Giovanni's side of things. The Poison Point doesn't affect since we have the Poison typing. What is this fight as Mudrill is carrying the hopes and the dreams of this entire team, as well as the last 2 attempts that we have really had a tough time against Giovanni in this fight. We fly up into the sky one more time. The takedown comes across the board. The Sandstorm is still here. Ryrus holding on. The Zen Headbutt connects on top of the Fly, and Giovanni is gone. Alrighty, and our last attempt here, Sabrina almost made us white, so we are going to be really careful in that regard. Hopefully we can get a really clean strategy, but she's got some really heavy special attackers here, so we send out Joltbat, leading the charge with the Stab, Acrobatics, with the Flying Jump, but it doesn't do as much damage as we wanted, as the Hitmon tanks that no problem with the Nasty Claw. The Max Potion comes down, we get another Acrobatics, and there it is. So the gem actually kind of glitched in this game and took away from the damage, since it made it think Acrobatics was actually holding the item as far as the Jolt back goes, but it doesn't matter as Mr. Mind's Fusion is gone. The Leech Life comes down, but it doesn't one-shot the Ezreon. It holds on and gets some good damage onto our Jolt Bat, but he is smiling. She is doing it, I should say. Alabro comes down. Can the Leech Life be enough? Can the Stab Thunderbolt be enough? We go for the Leech Life, getting us almost back to full HP. We tank the Psycho Cut, no problem. The Withdraw from Alabro comes down as we get the Leech Life. It doesn't do as much against the Genkazam. The Acrobatics, though, finishes off Sabrina's ace. What are you doing? She's fumbling the bag as we fade away with another Stab. Acrobatics, Jolt Bat takes the win. Let's go. Let's go indeed. But as far as this episode goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.